Sorry, this table's for family, my sister said, her smirk sharp, pointing toward a fold-out chair tucked beside the trash cart. In that instant I realized something. I was done pretending. All my life I'd played the dependable daughter. The one who sent cards, covered last-minute bills, and never made a scene. I didn't ask for much, only a place at the table. So when Dad's 65th birthday came around and they asked me to help with the reservation, I said yes. As always, I arrived early, brought the wine, wore heels that blistered, and still, I was relegated to the sidelines by my own family. But this time when the bill arrived and the waiter looked at me, I didn't flinch. I smiled. Not my table, I said. And just like that, the rules changed. Growing up, I had learned how to be small, quiet in presence, easy to overlook. My sister Vanessa was the radiant one. Spelling bee champion, lead roles in every school play, effortlessly magnetic. My parents adored her sparkle. She's got that natural charm, Mom would say, half apologetic, as if it explained why I faded into the background. I was the steady one. Straight A's, quietly responsible, fixing my own flat tire at 16 without a word, doing dishes before being asked. I don't think my parents forgot me, they just didn't notice. Graduation photos framed for Vanessa but not me. A toast for her while I passed the gravy. I went along quietly because asking for recognition felt like begging, and I refused to beg. Adulthood brought freedom. I moved states away, built a small marketing firm. A life that didn't revolve around family dinners or group chats. But I still visited. I still sent Christmas cards. I still helped cover Dad's car repairs last year, not because they asked but because I assumed I would. Part of me still wanted to be seen, not as the polite ATM, but as someone they'd miss. So when Mom called about Dad's birthday dinner, I didn't hesitate. Emily, sweetheart, she said in that syrupy tone she reserves for impending requests, we'd love for you to come. It's going to be really special. Of course I said yes. Then came the ask. Would you mind putting down the deposit to hold the spot? It's at Rose Ember. Dad's favorite. Convenient. I transferred it that afternoon. And when I asked who else would be there, Mom simply said, just family. That word used to mean something. I didn't know yet, but this would be the last time I asked for a place at someone else's table. The night arrived. Rose Ember glowed in amber light, jazz whispering from hidden speakers. I wore a satin dress I hadn't touched in years and carried a small gift for Dad, wrapped neatly in navy paper. Inside I froze. Everyone was already there. Vanessa in a cream dress, effortlessly radiant. Mom with pearls smiling. Dad laughing at some cousin's joke. No one looked up. I saw the main table. Long mahogany chandeliers overhead, place cards, cloth napkins, champagne flutes half full. 15 seats all taken. To the right, a fold-out chair pressed against the wall beside the bus cart and trash bin. Faint shrimp and lemon scent lingering. Vanessa raised her wine glass, tilting her head toward me. Emily, she said loud enough for everyone. Glad you could make it. Sorry, this table's for family only. Few chuckles. No one intervened. Mom waved briefly then looked away. I walked to the fold-out chair. Saturday. Didn't remove my coat. Placed the gift on the floor. I told myself it didn't matter. That I was overreacting. But it burned. 2 hours passed. They laughed. Toasted. Took photos. Vanessa gave a speech. Mom teared up. Dad beamed at a framed photo from a family trip to Cape Cod without me. No one asked if I wanted anything. I sat in my dress, staring at a table I'd paid for, wondering how many more dinners I'd endure just to feel noticed. Then the waiter approached, a slim black folder in hand. I saw the total gleam through the room. Recognition flickered on his face. Then he scanned for me. Excuse me, ma'am, he said, polite but cautious. The total is $4,912. Should I run the final charge on the same card used for the deposit? The room froze. Forks hovered midair. Conversations died mid-laugh. All eyes turned toward me. Vanessa froze, wine glass mid-sip. Mom's jaw tensed. I looked at the waiter calm, then smiled. Not my table, I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. The silence was surgical, slicing through champagne and laughter, carving truth into the mahogany. I'm sorry, the waiter asked, unsure. I already paid the deposit, I said, still smiling. But I was told this table was for family only. Gasp. Vanessa's face turned pale. Oh my God, Emily. Don't do this. I'm not doing anything, I said simply. I'm just following the seating arrangement. Dad cleared his throat, shifting. Emily, honey. Come on. You already paid half. Might as well just settle it. That stopped me cold. That line, might as well, assumed my silence meant consent. My patience had ended. I stood slowly. The chair screeched against the floor. And for the first time I realized I didn't need anyone else's permission to claim my place. I said, my voice low but steady, I paid the deposit. I booked this place. I gave up my weekend to plan all of this. I looked at Vanessa. For that, I got a folding chair and a front row seat to being ignored. My eyes swept across the table. The message was clear. You all can sort out the rest. With that, I turned and walked toward the exit. My heels clicked against the floor, punctuation marking my departure. The waiter froze, still holding the folder. For the first time that night, no one laughed. I didn't take the elevator. I needed movement. Anything to drown out the pounding in my chest. Each marble stair echoed beneath my heels as I descended into the cold February night, the wind slapping my skin like a wake-up call. By the time I reached the sidewalk, I had removed my earrings and unclasped my coat. My fingers trembled, not from fear but from something sharper. Freedom, maybe. I kept walking. By the time I reached my apartment, my phone buzzed relentlessly. 9:23 p.m. Mom. Emily, please call me. We need to talk. 9:27 p.m. Vanessa. Seriously, you just had to make it about you again. 9:33 p.m. Dad. That was uncalled for. You embarrassed everyone. I let the screen dim. No response. Then at 10:01, a name I didn't expect lit up. Madison, Vanessa's ex-girlfriend. I hesitated, then answered. Emily. Her voice was soft, uncertain. Yeah. Hi. I leaned against the kitchen counter. I hope it's okay I called. I was at dinner with Claire. Vanessa told everyone I was just a yoga friend, she said with a dry laugh. Typical. What happened after I left? I asked. She freaked out, Madison said. Tried to act like it was a misunderstanding. Blamed the waiter. Blamed you for being sensitive. But her face, she knew you humiliated her without raising your voice. I stayed silent. I'm not calling to stir things up, Madison continued. I just wanted to say I saw it. I've always seen it. The way they treat you like a convenience, a financial buffer with a smile. And the way Vanessa talks about you, it's cruel. Has been for years. I exhaled slowly. Why now? Because you walked out, she said. They didn't expect that. I think it shook something. After we hung up, I stared at the untouched bottle of wine I had brought. The gift box still sat in my purse. I hadn't even gotten the chance to give it to Dad. But now I realized it wouldn't have mattered. I could have brought gold and they still would have pointed me to the trash. Only this time I didn't stay. I walked away. And apparently someone noticed. The next morning the family group chat exploded. I hadn't heard from that thread in months, except the occasional blurred birthday cake or good vibes only meme from Aunt Karen. Now it lit up like fireworks. Mom. Emily, we really need to talk. You hurt your father. Please call. Dad. Let's not make this bigger than it needs to be. Just apologize and we move on. Vanessa. You humiliated me in front of the whole family. I hope it was worth it. I didn't reply. Not out of malice, out of clarity. I had said what I needed to say and I wasn't cleaning up their mess this time. Vanessa wasn't done. That afternoon a voice note arrived, dripping with sarcasm. I hope you're happy. You made Dad's birthday all about you. You always play the victim. Maybe if you weren't so cold, people would actually want you at the table. That was it. That was the moment something inside me snapped. Not with rage but with precision. I opened my laptop and pulled up the email thread with the restaurant. Deposit confirmation. Florist invoice. Digital receipt for the framed golf print I'd custom ordered for Dad. The last-minute driver service for Mom, because she didn't want to deal with parking downtown. All my work, all my money, all documented. Then I composed a simple email. Subject: re last night. Be family. Hi all. Since there seems to be confusion about my intentions, I thought I'd clarify with facts. Attached are receipts for the dinner deposit, $350. Floral arrangements, $350. Dad's gift, $180. And the town car service for Mom, $120. All of this was handled on my card. I did it because I was told this dinner was about honoring Dad. But I was also told I wasn't considered part of the family that night. I won't be covering the remaining $4,912. I didn't eat. I wasn't seated. I wasn't welcome. I'm tired of paying for rooms that won't even offer me a chair. Best, Emily. Within minutes, replies started trickling in. Cousin Jenna, good for you. We saw what happened. It was cruel. Uncle Leo, wish I'd had the guts to speak up. I'm sorry. Even Aunt Karen, queen of passive judgment, sent. About time someone said it. What hurt most wasn't what was said, it was what wasn't. No reply from Mom. No acknowledgement from Dad or Vanessa. 2 hours later, an unknown number texted me. Hi, this is Claire. We met once at a wedding. I just wanted to say that email. People are talking. They're not on Vanessa's side this time. I leaned back in my chair. For years, I'd poured into people who only reached for me when they needed something. Now the tide was shifting. I wasn't chasing it anymore. That night, I opened my banking app. The shared emergency fund I had quietly maintained for 4 years, just under $30,000, had been used countless times. Vanessa's broken AC, Dad's dental work, Mom's last-minute refund needs. They never asked, they assumed. I hovered over the transfer button. Then I moved the entire balance into my personal savings and closed the joint account. Final. Free. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. Vanessa. I let it ring out. Again. And again. On the 4th try, I answered. Emily, what the hell? She snapped. No hello. No apology. The joint fund is gone. I just closed it. I said flatly. You what? You can't just, I can. No, I interrupted. Silence. I paid for dinner. Flowers. Transportation. Sat alone. Got laughed at. Told I wasn't even family. That account was the last high. Now it's gone. Vanessa went quiet. Finally, her voice cracked. Not with remorse but disbelief. You've never talked to me like this before. I exhaled. Because I used to think I had to earn love by staying quiet. Love that exists only when I'm convenient isn't love at all. I hung up. Then I opened my notes app and started listing everything I had stopped doing. Covering last-minute family expenses, driving 3 hours on holidays only to be ignored, sending birthday gifts that vanished into silence, pretending the quiet didn't sting. It was a long list. And for the first time I felt no guilt about any of it. Later that night, a message pinged from Madison. Are you okay? Heard Vanessa's spiraling, blaming everyone. I smiled at the screen and typed back simply. Me. Let her spiral. I wasn't her center anymore. The next morning my inbox held a surprise. Subject. Emily. I owe you an apology from Dad. I froze for a moment before opening it. The note was short, stiff, but sincere. I didn't see it. That's on me. Your sister has always taken up all the air in the room. You just made it easy for us to overlook that. I'm sorry. If you ever want to talk, I'll listen. No excuses, no demands to fix anything. I didn't cry. I didn't respond immediately. For the first time, he just took responsibility. And maybe that was the beginning of something different. Not a reunion, but recognition. In the weeks that followed, my family went quiet again. No group chats, no forwarded jokes, no guilt-laced reminders to keep the family together. And it was peaceful. I woke up without checking my phone for another emergency to manage. I cooked for one, lit candles while I worked, and took long walks without needing anyone's approval. I started therapy, not because I was broken but because I was ready to stop pretending I wasn't hurt. We talked about boundaries, conditional love, and how silence is a language that can wound. I wasn't just healing, I was reconstructing myself. I finally booked a trip to Santa Fe. Postponed twice for family events. I wandered through art markets in linen pants, sipped coffee alone at sunrise, writing down the things I had once felt I needed permission for. By day 3, the list had grown. Saying no without guilt, choosing solitude over obligation, cutting ties that tighten when you struggle, creating a life that didn't revolve around making others comfortable. One morning, I stumbled on a photo from Dad's birthday dinner. Someone else had posted it. A gleaming table, laughter everywhere. Except in the blurred background, I sat alone by a trash can, coat on, unseen. Surprisingly, it didn't hurt. It confirmed something. That version of me, always showing up, smiling, giving, was gone. In her place was someone who didn't ask to be seated. She built her own table. The following week, I hosted my first dinner party in years. Just 6 people. Friends, my chosen family. No aunts, no cousins, no passive-aggressive siblings. Just people I wanted at my table. We ate lemon-roasted chicken, laughed until our sides hurt. Someone brought wine, someone else mismatched napkins. No seating chart, no hierarchy. Halfway through, my friend Talia raised her glass. Family isn't always blood. I smiled. I was finally at the table, and I had built it myself. Weeks later, a handwritten letter arrived. No return address, but unmistakably in Mom's cursive. Inside, a short note. Emily, I've reread your email 5 times. I didn't know how far we pushed you, how silent you became just to stay close. I was wrong. If you never return, I understand. But if you do, I promise not to seat you by the trash. Love, Mom. I folded it carefully, not out of sentimentality, but reverence. For the first time in 32 years, she simply said, I was wrong. I didn't cry, didn't frame it, didn't rush to reply. I placed it in a drawer beside my journal and returned to my desk, where a warm cup of tea waited. That night, I opened a new document on my laptop and wrote rules for my table. Not the dinner table, but the one inside me, where I decide who has a seat and who stands outside. Rule 1. No one who makes you feel invisible gets first place. Rule 2. Love that comes with conditions isn't love, it's performance. Rule 3. Silence is not grace when it costs your dignity. Rule 4. You don't need a chair at their table if you can build your own. I closed the laptop, exhaled, and felt something deep unlock. A quiet, rooted peace. The real victory wasn't walking out that night at dinner. It was every quiet no that followed. It was choosing to include myself fully, fiercely, without apology. I didn't pay the $4,912 bill, but I finally paid the debt I owed myself, the cost of staying silent. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't sitting next to the trash can. I was home.